Create beautiful AI content, but once it goes live, it feels soulless and completely out of context, resulting in zero engagement and zero sales. That's exactly what we're fixing today. Here's the reality. Your audience is exposed to hundreds, if not thousands, pieces of content every single day. They're scrolling fast, making split-second decisions about what to engage with. When your content doesn't have a consistent visual identity, you're essentially starting from zero with every single post. Your audience can't build recognition, can't develop trust, and can't form that connection that turns casual viewers into loyal customers. Think about the brands you recognize instantly. Nike, Apple, Rode. You know their content before you even see their logo. That's not by accident. That's strategic brand consistency, and it's exactly what we're building for you today. By the end of this module, you'll have a simple, practical brand guidelines document that you can reference every single time you create content for your socials. No more guessing, no more inconsistency, no more posts that look like they came from completely different businesses. And most importantly, no more wasted content that your audience scrolls past without a second thought. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about your logo and how to use it strategically across different platforms. Here's a mistake I see constantly. People putting their logo on every single piece of content they create, and what they don't understand is that it can seriously hurt your reach. So let's discuss a few rules that make sure you're building brand awareness without hurting your reach. We recommend to not put your logo on Reels. Reels were introduced as a way to connect with your audience. It's about entertaining them, engaging with them, inspiring them, or helping them feel understood and relate to you. The minute it gives off promotional vibes, most people will scroll away immediately. People are scrolling for fun, not to be sold to. Your logo instantly signals, this is an ad, and people will scroll past faster than you can blink. That's why UGC content has seen such a massive uplift in the past 2 years. Brands have been overdoing the highly curated content, turning Instagram into a sales platform instead of a place where people feel safe and comfortable. Think about it. When you're scrolling through Reels, do you stop to watch content that looks like a commercial? Probably not. You stop for content that feels authentic, relatable, and human. Now there's an exception to this rule. If your logo is part of your creative concept, maybe it's animated in a fun way, or it's integrated into the visual storytelling, that's different. But a static logo watermark in the corner, that's going to hurt your reach every single time. Rule number 2. Logos work great on carousels and static posts. These are educational, informational types of content where people expect to see branding. Place your logo in a corner or at the bottom and keep it subtle. It shouldn't be the main focus of the slide, but should help establish your brand as an expert in the field. This helps build brand awareness without hurting your reach. In practice, you need 3 versions: a dark PNG for light backgrounds, a white version for dark backgrounds, and your full color version, if applicable, for neutral backgrounds. Make sure all 3 versions are saved as PNGs with transparent backgrounds. Nothing looks more unprofessional than a logo with a white box around it sitting on top of your carefully designed content. Here's something most people don't think about. Your logo needs to work at different sizes. When you're creating a thumbnail for YouTube, your logo might be fairly large. When you're adding it to an Instagram carousel, it should be much smaller. Test your logo at different sizes to make sure it's still readable and recognizable when it's tiny. As a rule of thumb, on Instagram posts, your logo should be no larger than 150 by 150 pixels. Anything bigger can come across as amateurish, unless it's part of a special creative layout. The goal is subtle brand reinforcement, not screaming, "Look at my logo," at your audience. And here's a pro tip. If you have a complicated logo, it's wise to create a simplified version of your logo for very small applications. Maybe it's just your brand mark without the full company name. This ensures your logo stays legible even when it's scaled down to a small size. One more thing about logo placement: be consistent. If you decide your logo goes in the bottom right corner of your carousels, it should always be in the bottom right corner. Don't move it around randomly. Consistency in placement creates a visual signature that your audience will start to recognize subconsciously. Now it's time to open your brand guidelines document and complete it with your logo details. This foundational step will pay off later during the editing process.